It's delayed, that's all.
We are live?
Are we live? We're live! Hey!
We're live!
All right!
How did that happen?
Okay, this is Chicagonista Live, and obviously we are here and live. As always, we're coming to you again from space.
Yay!
Here in Chicago. We have a great show coming your way this month. We've got some exciting guests here in the studio,
And ghosts upstairs.
Ghosts,
but that's
noises.
okay.
The gang's all here. We want to just give you a taste of what's coming up. Welcome to Chicagonista Live. Obviously, we have some great guests coming up, and as always, you're going to get some great tips for improving your life. I always learn so much during Chicagonista Live.
I'm learning a lot from you guys every Chicago. I just go with the flow.
Well, as always, I'm glad to be with you. I'm Nancy Liu. My partners in crime are Beth Rosen, MJ Tim, and we always want you to tweet with us. Our hashtag is
Chicagonista Live.
And we've got great coffee.
Where we're having both trucks
To give
again to give away great coffee. If you guys haven't been to their location, they're everywhere in Chicago, but we bring it to you, to your
This
home.
is like
You get beans.
fancy
Like you get
schmancy.
really fancy beans that even if you don't have a grinder, which I don't, but I just open up, I love the smell of the beans. It's good stuff.
Wait
So
till-
tweet with us, Chicagonista Live,
I know.
and get some beans.
I want the good stuff. I kind of want the stuff too. We are going to talk fashion and tech and all things exciting happening in Chicago. And we always start with things in the news. I work on the news usually, and
So I don't watch the news
I know.
ever. I just call Nancy, and I love when you come to the show. She usually comes off of a story,
Yes.
and then she comes and reports the news. So what's going on?
Unfortunately,
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
No, we don't want.
Chicago's murder rate is higher than New York City and Los Angeles combined.
Wow.
Wow.
We won again. Woo!
We're at number one in a very bad way.
Not good.
It's unbelievable. It
Yeah.
really is so shocking. And if you have friends that live out of state or out of the country and they're going to travel to Chicago, it's a real concern. I mean, when
Yeah.
you live here, it's a concern and you're horrified by it because you're seeing it. But people who live out of the country, when you say you're from Chicago, when I was growing up, they used to say, oh, Al Capone, boom, boom. Nowadays, they're like, wow, can you walk along the
Yeah.
streets
Right,
there?
Yeah.
right. It is scary. I mean, I hate the fact that Chicago is really known for that because there's so many great things happening in Chicago. Business is moving with the hotel still.
Yes.
And so, you know, it doesn't add up.
Yeah,
It's scary.
you're right, because this is a great city, and we still encourage people to come, and we have such great people in the city, and we have a few of them on our show today. I love the kid that we're going to feature today, Parker.
Oh my gosh, Parker.
Wait till you see him and meet him and just hear about what he's been up to, and then you'll all think that your kids are slackers. My kids are slackers.
Well, I have one of mine in the audience, so my kids aren't. And I'm really excited. We have Rose from M Relief, and our first guest coming up after we talk a little Chicago, Sally Lou Loveman. Oh my gosh, if you ever watched the Oprah show, you know why those audience people were so excited? It wasn't because Oprah was walking on stage, it's because Sally used to warm them up, and she is the most warm and great person. And MJ just asked how long we've known each other. We just met like 5 minutes ago.
And you would never know.
So she's awesome.
Yeah.
And then we have Rose.
Rose with M Relief, amazing, amazing. I mean, what she can bring to Chicago can make things better for Chicago, and I think that's the great part.
I
that
met
we
her
wanna learn
last
more
year,
about her.
and Rose, I can't wait for you all to hear from her. She is an entrepreneur. She's got a great tech mind, and I can't wait for you to hear about what she's been working on, because she was with Google. She left Google.
And she was an intern. She worked for, was it Barack Obama?
Yeah.
I've heard of that
She
guy.
was doing things. But wait till you hear what she's doing now.
I really
so that's
feel like
coming
we're
up.
slackanistas now.
We're the slackanistas.
Don't tweet that, but here, if you tweet Chicagonista, our Chi-Town challenge today,
Slackanista.
Nancy didn't even know what it was because we didn't want to prep, but what is in your purse? Okay, and we're very tech-aholic people.
Yes.
We want to know what's in your purse. So take a picture, Instagram, Snapchat.
And how you organize your purse is really the key.
Wait, you
key
didn't
to this
tell me
one.
about the
tech, how
organization.
we organize our tech.
Yeah.
Which because we're techie.
I know, and I think we can, like within our feed and our thread, we can share some great tech tips. I mean, in my purse is a hack that I learned from Pinterest.
Oh.
And I haven't noticed many people doing it, and I think it will be helpful. So I hope to learn from you guys, and maybe you can learn from us too.
Yep.
So I know you're the news person, so I want to know what else is going on. But I have to tell you, I was so excited to read. Did anybody read about the Axe Club? What's it called? What's it called?
What axe?
Bad act.
The
Bad Axe Club?
No, what's the Bad Axe Club?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So it's this club that just opened in Chicago. I think is their first U.S. location. I think they're out of Canada. Has anybody in the audience heard of Bad Axe Club? It's
bad.
It's bad. So you go and they have wooden boards there, and you take a little mini class on how to throw an axe at a wooden board, and you just throw axes at the wall, like a real axe at the
That
wall.
sounds so
in Chicago,
dangerous.
where the murder rate is really high.
Not by axes. People are not. No.
Axe.
How cool is that? Like, go work out your aggression. You have to take a little mini course, and there's safety rules. But then they like go.
What's the safety? Like, I mean, what do you put on for safety? I don't understand.
Maybe
What if it slips out?
Oh, there's a picture of it. See?
Someone's running after you with an axe. What kind of protection can
They
you
have
do?
the axe throwing techniques, and you probably can't walk in front of it when somebody's throwing an axe. But
Well,
we're gonna do it.
That's
We.
okay.
All right. The girls already said no
wanna
to the glamping, which to me sounded phenomenal, except I
We're
wouldn't be
not
able to
glamping.
shave my legs. But this Axe Club,
Oh, we're not.
All right.
Don't axe us to go.
Don't ask me again.
all right, so what's your Chicago news?
You know,
I'm in like Olympics like letdown.
Right?
I have nothing else to watch.
we're at good Chicago news. Here's a good
Yeah.
Chicago news. We are at Space, and we partner with Space, and we are coming with Women Driving Excellence Leadership
yeah.
Collaborative Series that's starting in September. Our first one is
Yes.
September 21st.
Right here.
About personal branding, we have Debbie Lilly, we have Anupi Singla. Those are the first two. Second one, we have amazing speaker. We have Nancy Liu. Nancy Liu, how are you?
And you know what? I'm gonna prep a program just to talk about branding and social media, and it's taken years
Yes,
to
and
develop.
learning how to build your audience. And we also have
Janet
Davies and Candace Jordan, who will be speaking about staying relevant. I mean, we are in this tech community.
Yeah.
We have to learn how to stay relevant. I mean,
True.
all of us.
It keeps changing.
So that's a really great thing that's happening in Chicago here. So look it up at womendrivingexcellence.com. The classes are starting to fill up. You can RSVP for the register for it. Not very expensive at all. I mean, for that kind of class,
Yeah.
you normally would pay a lot of money.
And you get
for
to
it.
come here to Space. We're at 444 North Wabash, and you're going to get coffee and food and snacks.
We'll feed you.
So speaking about staying relevant, unless we had more news.
I don't know. Well, it's back to school season. Is everybody back into their new routines? Are you in a summer bummer mood? I don't know. It's a big transition phase, and I feel like everyone's sort of off because we're still
my kids started
transitioning.
already.
Yeah.
And so we're still off. I mean, this is
Yeah.
our second week, and it's really hard to take them to school when you see tons of kids still in the park.
Right.
Because
yeah.
they're still enjoying themselves, but there are tons of kids out there in school already too. So it's off for a while for us every single time.
Yeah.
But
Chicago public schools have not started yet, and here's another: the teachers may strike. That's another thing in the
then
news
it's
here in Chicago.
prolonging the vacation for them.
26,000 union
Wait,
teachers.
I thought
they
that
don't
was
have
taken care of already.
They don't have a contract. They worked without a contract all year long
Wow.
last year. They said they're not going to do it again.
And they got
So
rid of so much teachers.
They
as
laid
well.
off a lot of teachers.
I'm confused because they just hired tons of teachers,
It-
and now they
I
got
know.
rid of them again.
I know. They laid off 500 and they're rehiring 1,000 because it's the shifting in schools. So they laid off at the schools that didn't have that many students, that were downsizing. And there are other schools that have more demand, more students, and they need to hire for those schools. So you can't just move them over.
Yeah.
So interesting. Well, the good thing about kids going back to school
Yes.
is if you're a parent and you've been doing mommy camp or a lot with the kids, you have a couple hours, even if your kid's just going to kindergarten. And if you're not going back to work full time, but you want to reinvent yourself or start going after a passion that you really love, there's somebody here that could help you do that. Or if you're a woman, I know a lot of people this year are sending their kids off and becoming empty nesters for the first time. And they're like, oh my gosh, I've spent the last 18 years raising these kids, now what? Well, we have an answer. We have a solution. And her name is Sally Lou Loveman. And welcome to the show. Come on in, Sally Lou.
Thank you so much.
I love an
for being
audience.
with us.
Hi, everybody.
Because she was the audience producer for the Oprah Winfrey Show.
Yes.
No small show like ours.
No, but this is a great show. I love the energy in here. So
have a lot of
it's
fun.
good. You do.
But tell
And that's the most important thing. If you're happy and you're having fun, then you will have a successful show, which you already are. A lot of
very
Twitter
nice.
activity happening right now.
Yes, we do
okay.
stay alive.
But we do like to bribe our
did I
audience.
drop?
So tweet with us, Chicagonista Live, for coffee beans.
Tell us
Exactly.
about your post-Oprah Winfrey Show life, because you have
Right.
transitioned.
It's
into something-
horrible. It's so sad. Post Oprah. No, it's hard. It's hard. I love it. I love it. It's hard because there was nothing better. What happened in that building that's now some bricks was magic. And what's beautiful is that as hard as it is for us ex-Harpo people or former Harpo people to kind of come to terms with, it's sad seeing the building go, but what happened in that building stays within us forever, and we are always sharing, helping each other out, exchanging ideas. I need a PA in California on this date. I need a engineer on this, and we're all helping each other out. I would not have a business without my Harpo family because I get so many referrals from them. So what happened in that building did not just stay in that building. It came out with us, and now we're using it to spread magic elsewhere. But life after Oprah is not as much fun as it was with her. I miss her, and it was
magical.
It was magic. It was magic, and every day that I woke up at 4:30 and left my 3 children and husband, I felt selfish when I went to work because I had the best day.
You're
and
enjoying
the best
yourself
evening.
every day.
Yeah, I mean it was hard work. We worked our butts off, but it was like a very every day I had like 7 things that happened that were extraordinary.
Wow.
Like I went to the bathroom and there was Elie Wiesel, or I'm having a meeting and Bill Gates and Oprah walk by, or I give Tom Cruise a tour of the studio. Whatever it is. And then of course the meaningful shows that really change people's lives, and the people that were brave enough to share their stories and come and be vulnerable and really open up a conversation for things for people watching. But what I will say is that in answer to your question, Nancy, is that when the show ended, I realized, my job is going to end. I stayed for a few years, which was awesome, and got to learn so many new things that I wasn't particularly good at. And I'm like, thank you for giving me the opportunity, but I'm not a marketing person, and I'm not I'm not a conference call person. I want to be in the studio. I want to be with the people. I want to be out and about and telling my story to inspire others. It's how I was raised. It's how I learned from Oprah, and so I realized that I needed to find another home for my heart, my connection, my love of being with audiences. And so that's what I'm doing now. I'm emceeing events with the audiences and having a ball with that. And I'm speaking to, anyone who will listen, to, nonprofits, women's groups, some corporate stuff. And then of course my love is mentoring young professionals. And my focus is really women. And like you said, I have a ton, I'm, in my 50s, and I have a ton of friends who are now suddenly empty nesters, and I will be an empty nester in a year. And it's really a scary time because your whole identity is being a mom, whether you worked outside the home or inside the home.
Right.
And suddenly, poof, they're gone. And they still need you.
Right.
But anyway, so I always like to say is, what is your talent? What are you really good at? I was really good at puzzles when I was a kid. And you can take it back to your childhood. And I like when things fit neatly together. And for me, I also was in an environment at a young age at the Mike Douglas show, and I got to see what it was like to have a television show happen. And that environment, it sucked me in and it pleased all of my senses. So I'm like, okay, that environment I like. I'm really good at organizing and filling in pieces. I was an audience producer. Every time I sat in an audience, those empty chairs are killing me. I want those filled, because an empty piece is and so for me, it was like setting, doing a puzzle with people. And then being in an environment that I love. So I always say to people, whether you're reinventing, re-entering the workforce, you're young and you're coming up out of college and you're looking for a career, what is it that you really, really like and that you're really, really good at? And what environment pleases you? Banks do not please me. I would never be a good banker because I count on my fingers and I'm terrible at math and I'm actually horrible with budgets. So I know what I don't like and I know what I'm good at. And it's good to know that. And an environment is really important and really count on the senses. Does it smell good to you? Does it feel good to you? Does it sound good to you? And then that 6th sense. Oh, that's hard with my teeth. I'm having some dental issues. That fifth sense. Is this the right place for me?
Right. Well, tell us about your new child, which is Love Speaks.
Okay. Thought you were talking about my puppy. I just adopted a puppy. So Love Speaks is really about doing what you love. When love speaks to you early on, you need to do it. And whatever that is, for me it was television. For you all, it's obviously tech, and that didn't speak to you early on because we didn't have tech when we were all coming up. But it's something that you're in news, you're in marketing, you're in the tech world, and there's something, and if anything rings a bell to you, what was it that you liked to do? What were you really good at, Beth, when you were growing up?
Well, it's funny. Do we have that picture of me
In Girl Scouts?
The Girl Scout picture,
That's
because
so
when
cute.
I read your little thing about Mike Douglas, there's a picture of me before it was the Oprah show. It was Kennedy and Company, and I was
yeah.
And so there's a picture of me. That's okay. Don't worry about it. But we'll put it up of me. Sitting right where I am right now with between Bob Kennedy and whoever
Right.
his co-host was,
Right.
like with the microphone, and I was
Right.
8 years old.
Right, and
ready.
that's, you know, and I would be in my basement interviewing my sisters on my recorder and the reel-to-reel recorder, and I had my little interview show. Well, I ended up having that, you know, on the Oprah stage. So it is, you kind of trace it, and I always like to ask people, what did you like growing up to do? What were you really good at, and what pleased you? Like, I have a really close friend who's a TV, oh my, everything's TV, a travel analyst, and he talks about loving the smell of jet fuel. And he has a picture of him. If he was a woman, I would put him in a book that I want to write about women. But it's like playing with his plane, you know. And that was something early on. So we complicate our career goals. You know, we're like, oh, what should I do? What should I be? How, you know? And if we can uncomplicate it by simply looking at, you know, what are you good at? What is your talent? And don't worry about trying to be anybody else. Just focus on that.
What I love about this is not just for women having kids leaving them and changing and reinventing.
Right.
But it's for younger girls too,
For sure.
who's, you know, who just graduated from
But
college.
don't you think
Yes.
that
Looking
girls
for their
are
career.
empowered and they usually kind of know what they want? They know what they love. They go out and get it.
Of
And
course.
Do
course.
you sense that there is a problem of
No,
people
not at all.
figuring it out?
Not at all. But how many times were we asked growing up, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you don't know, you know. I knew at 14. My girls didn't, you know. And then they passed age 14 and they're like, do I have a problem? Is there something wrong with me? I don't know. They still don't know. One's about to graduate from college. One is out of college. Both are interested in television. My son is interested in film. So there's that DNA, I think, you know, if you grow up with a mom who cooks, and you know, like just so many chef friends that I've made, and they pin it to their grandmother and cooking in the kitchen. You know, if it's in your DNA, if it's in your blood, then it happens. I don't think people are worried and and wondering. I think this generation of women are incredibly powerful, but I think it really helps when you really examine your story, and everyone has a story, and just, you know, you don't really always know it right away, and I knew it later on, obviously, but it's really fun to celebrate your talents and own them, and say,
what's
how
your
can I get
tip
paid
on
for it?
recognizing it, you know, in the beginning?
Well, right, in the beginning it's harder. It's easier to look back on it. In the beginning, what makes you happy? What makes your heart full? You know, like if you are like an organized person like I am, like you like to label things, and you want to be in an industry where you can be, you know, putting a rundown together, you know, putting, you know, even beginning as an executive assistant to somebody. I'm just talking about coming up. And, you know, but if you're a tech person, you know that's where you're headed. If you're a numbers person, you know you're going to finance. And so it just really depends on what works for you.
Well, I want to let people know we're going to have you back for like a whole show, because we're all like, oh my gosh, this is so
And then
great.
rearrange our seats.
Well, and then you all have to think about what your talents are, because I want to know.
Yeah, I want to know what I'm going to be when I grow up.
Yeah. I can't believe you have 4 kids who are grown up. That's not possible.
Let people know where to find you. Your site is beautiful. MJ,
Thank
I've really
you.
enjoyed visiting your site.
My girlfriend Julie Mute did it, and she's never done it before, but she's a Harpo teammate of mine, and
smart women.
we're just happy that it worked.
And it's lovespeaks.tv.
Yes. And so you can see me around town doing, you know, I do the National Restaurant Show, and I, when that comes in May, I'm going to try and sneak in something at Chicago Ideas Week, hopefully, and you know, just talking. I'm trying to speak to some students at Northwestern. I'm going to go back to my college, Lafayette.
I have
in
some
the fall.
place for you to
So,
speak.
Okay, good.
We'll talk
Thank you.
about that.
See, I will speak to anyone who will listen.
Oh, there you are speaking with students. Oh, that's so cute.
Oh, that's cute. That's cute.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you
Oh,
so
I
much.
can't wait
so
to
much.
see Parker and Rose.
Yeah.
Can I stay and watch?
Of course.
Can you fill one of those seats?
We need to fill them up. I have to fill 4 seats.
We can move these people over. Would that make you feel better?
I when the crew used to, I'd be like the crew, can you fill the seats? They're like, yeah, right, Sally Lou. We never had to feel safe.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Chicagonista. Thank you. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, good color.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I've known her forever, but her
Thank
new
you.
site is
Can I give you
really
my
so
medicine?
inspiring.
I love it. It's a code for younger girls to understand
Yeah.
going forward and not be lost and go with your heart and, you know.
So another girlfriend that we just met was our girlfriend from last year, Cheryl Underwood. Are we going to play that video?
Yes.
You go over and interview them.
Yes.
So we're going to play the Cheryl Underwood video for the talk, and keep tweeting with us at Chicagonista Live, and show us what's in your purse. Shh, we won't tell, but take a picture and put it on Instagram and the internet, but we won't tell. Chicagonista Live. A few people.
Everybody, it's MJ Tam and
Beth Rosen and Cheryl Underwood, and we're on Chicagonista Live. We on Chicagonista Live. Anyways, we're talking about the talk.
Yay!
You guys had a great year last year.
Thank you. Yes,
I think
we
that
did.
We're going to take a little credit because we helped kick off the year last year, and you guys won a lot of awards.
That's right. You were our good luck charm. We won a People's Choice Award, an NAACP Image Award, and a Daytime Emmy Award. 3. You did it for us. Y'all coming back? When y'all coming?
yeah,
Both
we got
of
to
you.
come out there. We're coming out there this year, right?
I want you all to blow up CBS's site, The Talk. I think is it a backslash the CBS.com, The Talk, so that you both can be top talkers. Because most of the top talkers are great
invited.
bloggers or radio people, such as yourself, TV and radio and bloggers. That's where you are. So why are you not a top talker? But we need your audience, the Chicagonista Live audience, to say we want them to be top
Hashtag.
talkers.
let's talk about Chicago a little bit. What are you doing here besides visiting us, of course?
Well, I participated in Celebrity
My
Family
favorite
Feud.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, it was
so
I want to get my family on there. We're not.
I am coming back to the CBS affiliate, and we're going to do this thing. And matter of fact, you guys could be involved in that too. Spend the weekend with Cheryl Underwood. It's going to be a community boot camp. It's called
Fun.
It's called Cheryl Underwood's Pack Rat Community Boot Camp for you to look good, feel good, to do good. So
Worry about what are you going to be for Halloween this year?
we have not decided, but
You
I
guys
will
do
tell you
great
this: we do great
Halloween.
things. We did Peter Pan, we did lip sync battle, which was so much fun, and we did what was the Wizard of Oz? I thought we did Wizard of
Yeah,
Oz.
yeah, I think you did.
Let me see. I'm trying to remember because I remember I was the Cowardly Lion. Then I was what's his name, Smee, or whatever. I looked more like Al Roker though. No, for real. If you look at the guy, that was Peter Pan. I'm very upset that we do not have any Peppies. We do not have any Italian Fiesta, any Harold's here. But for the next interview, I will wait. See, I haven't turned into a diva yet. Where I would not eat unless you bring me Chicago food like a Polish or something, or we gotta go to Greek Town.
Oh my
Because
God,
the
how fun
taste.
would that
We should do. You know what we should do one year?
Oh, food.
The taste. We should
Let's
do the taste
do
together.
it.
Okay.
That would be free. Ready?
I'm Cheryl Underwood, and you're watching Chicagonista Live. Hashtag Chicagonista Live. Why? So we can go viral in a good way.